not be rich, but he's got a good job. My life is much harder than yours. I only make 23 rubles a month, minus health and pension. I don't walk around in mourning.
Happiness doesn't depend on money. Poor people are often happy.
In theory, perhaps, but not in practice. For instance, I've got myself, my mother, my 2 sisters, and my little brother to support, all on 23 rubles a month, minus health and pension. We need to eat, don't we? We need tea and sugar and tobacco, all on 23 rubles a month, minus health and pension. I love you. Every day, I walk 3 miles here and 3 miles home, and what do I get? Utter indifference. I wonder. I have such a large family to support on 23 rubles. Limited means.
I'm touched by your love. I just don't love you. That's all. Stuff?
No, thank you.
God, it's humid.
Country life does not suit me at all, my boy. Never will either. You can be sure of that. Last night, I went to bed at 10 and woke up at 9 this morning feeling as if my brain was stuck to my skull. It's from too much sleep and whatnot. And then I dropped off again this afternoon. Oh, it's a nightmare and so on.
You're right. You ought to be living in town. You'll be called to a place about to start, but you mustn't be here yet. Go away, please.
Miss Masha, could you ask your father to leave the dog unchained tonight? It was whining all night again. My sister, she couldn't sleep a wink.
You'll have to ask him yourself. I don't want any part of it. Come on.
That dog will be whining all night again. You see, I never get my way in the country. I used to take a month off to come here and relax and whatnot, but there was always so much fuss and bother. I was always ready to leave as soon as I got here. Now that I'm retired, I have nowhere else to go, and so
How's that for a stage? A small platform, an empty space, no set. You look straight through to the lake and to the horizon. The play starts at 8:30 on the dot, just as the moon starts to rise.
Splendid.
Of course, the effect will all be lost if Nina is late. She should be here by now. Getting away from that house is like breaking out of prison. Your hair's a mess. Why don't you keep it trimmed?
The tragedy of my life, I look drunk all the time. Even when I was young, I always looked like a drunkard and whatnot. Never had luck with the ladies because of it. Now, why is your mother in such a terrible mood?
Why? Because she's bored and jealous. She's dead set against me, my plays, and the performance. Because she's not acting in it. Because her novelist might find Nina attractive. She doesn't know the first thing about it, and she hates it.
You're mashing.
She's furious that Nina is going to have success on this little stage. Yeah, my mother, the psychological curiosity, but without a doubt, brilliant and talented, capable of weeping over a novel, reciting poetry by heart, and of nursing the sick like an angel, but just try and praising anyone else in her presence. Oh, she alone may be praised. It is worse in the country where she cannot get constant praise. She grows peevish, thinks we're all out to get her. She's stingy too. I know for a fact that she has 70,000 rubles in the bank in Odessa, but she's ready to burst into tears if you dare ask her to lend you a penny.
You've got it in your head that your mother is against you, and you've got yourself all worked up. Be calm. Your mother loves and adores you.
My mother loves her lifestyle and adores her fancy clothes. I'm 25 years old, a sufficient reminder to her that she is no longer young. When I am away, she is only 32, but in my presence, she's 43. And another thing, she knows I hate the commercial stage. She adores it. To me, that theater is merely a vehicle of convention and prejudice. When the curtain rises on those little 3-walled rooms and those high priests of art shows people in the acts of eating, drinking, loving, walking around. When playwrights give us 1,000 guises for the same old stuff, I must needs run from it. As Mopus so ran from the Eiffel Tower, fearing to be crushed by its vulgarity.
But people enjoy the theater.
What we need are new forms. New forms, and if we cannot have them, we're better writer getting herself into the tabloids? I'm tired of it all. Sometimes I regret having a mother who's a famous actress. Just think how embarrassing it is when I find myself the only non-entity in a crowd of her guests, all celebrated authors and artists. I feel they only endure me because I'm her son.
What sort of man is her writer right now?
I'm so insanely happy to see you. Oh, you enchantress. You illuminated our dreams.
Was I late? I came as fast as I could.
No.
I've been so nervous all day and afraid my father wouldn't let me come. He went off somewhere with my stepmother. The sky was red, the moon about to rise. I raced over as fast as I could. I'm so happy to be here.
But you look as though you've been crying.
It's nothing. But let's hurry. I must go in half an hour. My father doesn't know I'm here.
Yes, it is time. I must call the audience.
I'll go and call them.
Two friends were returning to Grenadier. Once I burst into song like that in the office, and one of the assistant prosecutors said to me, "That's a powerful voice you have there, Your Excellency." Then he paused a second and added, "Powerful, but disagreeable."
My father and stepmother keep telling me not to come here. They say you're bohemians. They're afraid I will want to become an actress. But I am drawn to the lake, like a seagull. My heart is so full of you.
We're alone.
Isn't that somebody over there?
No.
And what kind of tree is that?
An elm?
Why is it so dark?
It's late. Everything looks dark. Don't leave early, please.
I can't stay.
Ew, what if I follow you home and spend the whole night in your garden looking up at your window?
You can't do that. Treasurewood
I
Bar.
love you. Everything's ready. Soon the moon will rise and not a cloud in the sky. The stage is all set and I've prepared the sulfur for when the devil's eyes light. Go ahead, get into places. Are you nervous?
Yes, very. I don't mind your mother. I'm not so afraid of her. But Trigorin, it's scary to act with him here. A famous writer. Is he young?
Yes.
What wonderful stories he writes.
I wouldn't know. I never read them.
Your play is so hard to act. There are no living people in it.
Living people? Life must be shown not as it is, not as it should be, but as it appears in dreams.
Your play has so little action. It's all words. And I always thought plays need a love interest.
Oh, it's getting damp. Go back inside and put on your galoshes.
It's too hot.
You don't take care of yourself. That's your stubborn streak. You know very well how bad the cold air is for you, but no, you want me to suffer. That's why you spent all evening on the terrace last night. You got so caught up talking with Rena Arkadina, you didn't even notice the cold. Admit it, you're attracted to her.
I'm 55.
That's nothing. 55 isn't old for a man. You're still as handsome as ever, and women adore
What
you.
is it you want?
You men are so eager to go falling all over actresses, all of you.
It's only natural for people to admire actors and treat them differently than, say, businessmen. It's a kind of idealism.
Is that why women are falling in love with you and hanging all over you? Is that idealism?
What can I say? They've always loved my skill as a doctor.
Darling.
She was magnificent at the county fair in '93. Magnificent. A sheer delight. Ah, but the theater is not what it used to be. Once we had mighty oaks on our stages, but now we're down to mere stumps.
True, we have fewer celebrities, but the average actor is much better.
No, I disagree. But I suppose it's a matter of taste. De gustibus sunt bene aut nihil.
When is it starting, my darling?
In a moment, please be patient. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The play is about to begin. Oh, you venerable ancient shadows, who nightly linger o'er this lake, love us to sleep, and let us dream of what life may be in 200,000 years.
There won't be anything in 200,000 years.
Good, let them show us that nothing.
Yes, let them. We are asleep.
Men, lions, eagles, and wrens, horned stags, geese, spiders, a silent fish dwelling deep in the water, starfish, and those invisible to the naked eye. All life, all life, all life. The sad cycle ended, has died away. 1,000 years have passed since the earth last bore a living creature, and the unhappy moon now lights her lamp in vain. No more do cranes cry out in the meadow. The cicadas are silent in the lime groves. All living creatures have disappeared into dust. Eternity has cast them into stone, water, and cloud. are one, and I remember all, each and every life I relive again. I am alone. Once every 100 years, I open my lips to speak.
It smells
My
like
only
sulfur.
voice
Is that
echoes
really
into the void, and no one
necessary?
hears me. And one thing,
Yes,
the
special effects.
knowledge remains
Well, it was
eternal,
quite
unchanging.
amazing.
And that's the Holy Spirit.
Symbolic.
The doctor's taking off his hat to the devil. Hallelujah, the eternal man.
It's over, the play is over, that's it! I'm sorry. I forgot that only the chosen few may write plays or act, and I infringed on the monopoly.
What's the matter with him? Really now, he put together this whole production fumigating us with sulfur for what? To prove a point? He wants to teach us how plays should be written and acted. Really, it's too much. I am tired of this. He's a willful and egotistical little boy.
I only wanted to please you.
Is that so? Then why did he choose a real play instead of making us sit through this decadent delirium?
Each of us writes what he feels and what he can.
Fine, let him write what he wants, only spare me, please. Oh, what a glorious evening. Listen, everyone, is that singing? Oh, how lovely.
It's coming from the other shore.
10, 15 years ago, we had singing and music on the lake all the time, every night almost. I remember the laughter, the noise, the gunfire, and the romances. Ah, the romances. And the idol of the entire county, none other than Dr. Dorn. Oh, he's still a charmer, but back then he was irresistible. Ugh, now my conscience is bothering me. Kostya! Kostya, darling!
I'll go and find him. Constantine! Constantine! Well, it seems as though the play is over, so I may as well come down now. Hello, everyone.
Bravo, bravo!
Yes, bravo, we all loved you. With those looks and that beautiful voice, I'm certain you've got talent. Oh, you belong up there on that stage.
Oh, it is my dream, but I don't know how it could ever happen.
Let me introduce you to my friend, Boris Alexievich Trigorov.
So pleased to meet you. I read everything you write.
No need to be flustered, dear. He may be famous, but he's a simple soul.
It was a curious play, wasn't it?
I didn't understand a word, but I enjoyed watching it. Your performance was so sincere. And that scenery is beautiful. There must be a lot of fish in that lake.
Yes.
I love to fish. There's nothing I love more than sitting on the riverbank in the late afternoon, watching the line in the water.
I always thought that once an artist had experienced the joys of creation, no other pleasures could exist.
Once when I was in Moscow at the opera, I hear the great Silva go down to a low C. And it so happened there was a bass from our church choir up in the balcony. And suddenly we hear, "Bravo, Silva," a whole octave lower, like this. "Bravo, Silva."
Well, I must go.
Going where? It's so early, we cannot allow it.
Father's expecting me.
No, really, he's impossible. Well, that's that, I suppose. We're sorry to see you go.
I can't imagine how hard it is for me to leave.
Just an hour more or so, really.
No, I can't. Goodbye, everyone.
The poor girl. Apparently her mother left her entire fortune to the girl's father, and now he's gone and signed it over to his new wife. The girl hasn't a penny to her name. It's disgraceful.
What do you say we move inside, everyone? It's getting damp and my legs are starting to bother me.
Yes, let's go, you poor old thing.
Madam,
There's that dog whining again. Please leave it unchained tonight.
I can't, or we'll have thieves in the bar. Ah, yes, a whole octave lower. "Bravo,
You've all gone. I'm still here.
Masha's been looking everywhere for me. Insufferable
I
creature.
really liked your play, Constantine. Oh, it was a little strange, and I didn't get to hear the end, but even so, it made a deep impression on me. You have talent. Don't give up. You've taken your plot from the realm of the abstract, rightly so. A work of art needs a great idea behind it. Nothing can be beautiful without being serious.
So you think I should keep at it?
Yes, but stick to what's important, what's eternal. I've had a decent life, full of variety. I'm satisfied. But if I had ever had the chance to feel the exaltation an artist must feel in the process of creation, I think I'd have spurned this comfortable life and taken wing, soaring high above it all.
Where's Nina?
And one more thing. A work of art must always have a clear-cut, well-defined purpose. You must always know why you are writing. If all you create is art without purpose, you'll be lost, and your genius will be your ruin.
Where's Nina?
She's gone home.
Gone home, but I have to see her. I need to see
Calm
her.
down, my boy.
I must go. Goodbye, doctor. And thank you.
Ah, youth. Youth.
Whenever people are at a loss for what to say, they always say, ah, youth, youth.
That is a disgusting habit. I think we should go inside now.
Wait. I need to talk to someone. I can't talk to my father, but with you, I feel closer to you. God, please help me. Help me before I make a mockery of my life.
What's the matter, my dear child?
I'm in love with Constantine.
Ah, youth. Youth.
Clearly, it is every bit as dangerous for society people to dote on novelists and entice them into their homes as it would be for grain merchants to raise rats in their granaries. Yet writers are much in demand. Thus, when a woman sets her sights on a writer, she besieges him with all manner of attentions, compliments, and favors. Well, that may be true of the French, but we are different. We do not plan things. By the time a Russian woman has set her sights on a writer, you can be sure she's already fallen head over heels in love with him. Just look at Ian Tregoran.
Really, that's wonderful. We're going to have such a good time. Good news, everyone. Father and stepmother have gone to Moscow, and we're going to be on our own for 3 whole days.
So happy. I'm all yours now.
Doesn't she look pretty today?
Yes, beautiful and sweet, but we mustn't praise her too much. It might spoil her. Where's Tregoran?
On the dock, fishing.
Oh, how he can stand the boredom, I do not know.
What's that you're reading?
Malpesantier? On the water. Oh, well, the next part isn't that interesting or true. Tell me, do you know what's been troubling Constantine? He's been so gloomy and out of sorts, spending day after day on the lake. I hardly see him.
He has a heavy heart. Would you recite something from his play?
Really? It is so uninteresting.
When he recites it himself, his eyes burn and his face turns pale. He has the most beautiful, mournful voice in the sense of a poet.
Peter! Are you asleep?
No, not in the least.
You need to see the doctor. It's no good going on like this.
I'd be happy to. It's the doctor who won't see me.
He's 60. What does he need a doctor for?
Even 6-year-olds want to live, doctor.
Fine, take some valerian drops.
I think a trip to the spa would do him some good.
All right, go ahead. Or stay at home.
Now what's that supposed to mean?
Just what I said.
You gotta stop smoking. Nonsense.
No, it is not nonsense. Alcohol and tobacco rob you of your individuality. After a cigar or a glass of vodka, you are no longer Peter Soren, but Peter Soren plus somebody else. Your image of yourself blurs and you start to see yourself in the third person.
That's easy for you to say. You've had a full life. But what about me? I spent 28 years in the Department of Justice. That's not living. I haven't had any experiences. So of course I want to live. That's why I drink sherry with dinner and smoke cigars and so on.
By all means, take life seriously, but to go to a spa at 60 and regret not living more when you were younger, I'm sorry, but that's just plain silly.
Well, it must be nearly lunchtime.
before lunch.
The poor girl, she's unhappy.
Well, here they are. Hello, everyone. My wife tells me you're planning to go into town with her today. Is that true?
Yes, we're planning on visiting the shops.
Ah, and how do you plan on getting there, my dear lady? Today is our day to bring in the rye. All the men are busy in the fields. And what were you planning to do for horses, if I may ask?
Horses? How should I know? We have carriage horses, don't we?
Carriage horses! And where do you expect me to find colors for them? It's unbelievable. I'm sorry, my dear lady. I have the greatest of admiration for your talents. I would gladly give 10 years of my life for you, but horses? No, I cannot let you have any horses.
And if I must go, what then?
My dear lady, you have no idea what it takes to run an estate.
Well, if that's the case, I will be leaving for Moscow today. Have someone hire me some horses, or I will walk to the station.
Well, if that's the case, I resign, and you can find yourself another manager.
Every summer is exactly the same. Every summer they insult me. I will never set foot in this place again.
Tiresome. Your husband deserves to be thrown out on his ass.
Carriage horses in the fields. Every day it's something different. You have no idea the effect that it has on me. I'm trembling. Please let me come in with you. Time is slipping away. How much longer do we have to keep pretending?
I'm 55. It's too late for me to change my ways.
I know why you won't have me. There are other women. And you can't have us all living with you. I'm sorry. You must be fed up with me.
No, it's all right. How are things up there?
Irina Arkadina is crying and Peter Soren is having an asthma attack.
I better give them both some valerian drops.
For you.
Merci beaucoup.
Are you alone?
Yes. What is that supposed to mean?
I did something unforgivable today. I killed this
What's
seagull,
wrong with you?
and so shall there soon end my own life.
You've changed. I don't know who you are anymore.
Yes, I've changed. Changed since I've ceased to recognize you anymore. You're different with me now. You're colder. You don't like having me near
You
you.
are so moody lately, and all you do is talk, 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 and I don't understand the way you use words anymore. You talk in symbols, like this seagull. I suppose this is some sort of symbol too. Well, I don't understand it. I guess I'm just too simple to understand you.
This all began when my play was such a dismal failure. A woman can never forgive a failure. I burnt the manuscript. Every last page. If you could only fathom how unhappy I've become. Your estrangement is torture. You say you are too simple to understand me. But what is there to understand? You dislike my play. You have no faith in my writing. You think I'm worthless. Ah, there. There comes the real genius now, striding along like Hamlet, book and all. Words, words, words. When you feel the warmth of his sun already. Your eyes light up. You smile. I won't stand in your way.
Hello, Mr. Trigorin.
Hello, you. Oh. It seems as though things have taken an unexpected turn, and we'll be leaving today. Probably never meet again. Maybe I don't often have a chance to meet attractive young girls. I've forgotten what it's like to be 18, or 19 for that matter. All of the young girls in my stories, they tend to be unconvincing. I wish I could change places with you for an hour and see how your mind works, what you're really like.
Oh, I should wish to change places with you.
Why on earth would you want to do that?
To see what it's like to be famous. Oh, how I envy you. People have such different destinies. Some can barely drag themselves through their dull lives, each one like the next, and all of them unhappy. Others, though, like you, others live brilliant, interesting lives, and you must be so incredibly happy.
Happy? Well, you are very young and very kind, but I'm afraid this brilliant, interesting life of which you speak is nothing more than a fantasy.
Oh no, your life is beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay. I better go to my further. All right, now, let's talk about my wonderful, beautiful life. Where should we begin? Day and night, I am obsessed with the idea of writing. I mean, I must keep writing and writing. I have no choice. As soon as I finish one story, I feel a compulsion to write another and another and another. I can't stop. There's nothing I can do about it, so tell me, what's so beautiful, what's so wonderful about that? Beautiful? Madness is more like it. I look up, and I see a cloud in the shape of a grand piano, and I think to myself, I must use that somewhere in a story. A grand piano of a cloud drifted by. I smell the scent of heliotrope in the air. And make a note, cloying fragrance, widow-like, used to describe a summer evening. I can't let a word, a sentence go by, yours, mine, without locking it away in my literary larder. As soon as I finish a piece, I rush off to the theater or someplace where I can fish. All I want to do is to relax and forget, but no, before I know it, a storm starts raging in my mind, and then I rush off and write and write and write. It's madness!
Even so, you must feel some moments of ecstasy and bliss when you're inspired, when you're creating.
Yes. I enjoy the writing. But as soon as the thing gets published, I can't even stand to read it. I realize it's not at all what I intended to write. It's all wrong, and I never should have written it in the first place.
I can't accept that. You're just spoiled by success.
Success? I've never liked myself as a person. And now I don't even like myself as a writer, and the worst of it is I live in a daze, often not even understanding what I'm writing. What I do love is that water. These trees. And that sky. I have a love for nature. It arouses a passion in me, an irresistible urge to write. But I mustn't be just some landscape artist. I am a member of society, and as a writer, I feel it is my duty to speak for the people. Their pain, their suffering, the rights of man. I do my best, but as I watch society forge ahead, I feel myself drop further and further behind. And then I start feeling like I'm no good at anything but landscapes. And when I try to do anything else, I'm a fraud. A fake right down to the marrow of my bone.
And you are either too busy or too stubborn to see what you mean to others. People see you as a great and wonderful man. If I were lucky enough to be a writer or an actress, I'd gladly put up with my family's rejection, with poverty, with disappointments. I'd be very hard on myself and acknowledge all of my shortcomings, but in return, I demand fame. Real fame, resounding fame.
Trigorin! Trigorin!
Out here.
We're staying.
Do you see the house on the far shore? The one with the garden? It was my mother's when she was alive. I was born there. I spent my entire life on this lake.
It's very beautiful. What's that?
A seagull. Constantine shot it. What are you writing?
An idea for a story. A story about a young girl who has lived on a lake since childhood. A young girl like you. She loves the lake. Like a seagull. She is happy and free. Like a seagull. Then a man comes along, notices her, and for want of anything better to do, destroys her, just like this seagull.
I must tear the love from my heart. Tear it out by the roots.
And how do you plan to do that?
By Marian Medvedenko.
The school teacher?
Yes,
I don't see why you have to do that.
I have loved without hope for years, waiting for something that'll never come. What good is love without hope? Once I'm married, there'll be no time for love. New worries will bury the old. And, if nothing else, at least it's a change. To your health. You're a good man. I am sorry to see you go.
And I'm sorry to have to go.
Then why not ask her to stay?
No, she won't stay now. Not with Constantine acting so crazy. First shooting himself and then challenging me to a duel, and for what? He sulks and sneers and preaches forms. Well, I say there's room for both old and new forms. Why fight about it?
It's jealousy. Well, goodbye. Thank you for being so nice. Oh, and send me your books. And be sure to inscribe them. Only don't write best wishes. Write for Masha, who knows not where she comes from or why she goes on living. Goodbye.
Even or odd?
Even.
No, it's odd. I only have one puzzle in my hand. I'm trying to decide whether to be an actress or not. Well, once we say goodbye, we may never meet again. Here, take this medallion to remember me by. Please, I've had your initials engraved on it, and the title of your book, Days and Nights, on the other side.
How sweet of you. It's a lovely gift.
Think of me now and again.
I will. And I'll think of the way you looked that sunny day last week. We talked for a while. And I'd love to see you.
Yes, Seagull. Someone's coming. Let me have 2 minutes alone with you before you go, please.
No, you stay here. You can't go gallivanting about with that rheumatism of yours. Who is that just left? Nina?
Yes.
Oh, well, so sorry. We didn't mean to disturb you. Well, I think everything is packed. I am absolutely exhausted.
Days and Nights, page 121, lines 11 and 12. Do we have any of my books in the house?
Yes, they're in Peter's study.
Page 121.
I'll be so lonely without all of you here.
And what would you do in town?
Well, nothing special, but still. Go to the groundbreaking ceremony for the new courthouse and whatnot.
Well, winter here in the country will be good for you. Try not to get too bored or catch cold, and keep an eye on Constantine. Take care of him, give him guidance. Trying to kill himself for what? Jealousy? Well, soon Tregorn and I will be far away from here.
There were, how shall I explain this? There were other reasons he...
Oh dear, Peter.
Oh, what's
Peter,
happening?
dear, help me,
Stand to me. It's all right. It's all right. It's past. Don't be frightened, Mother. It's nothing serious. It's been happening a lot lately. How about lying down a while? All right. But just for a little while. I'm still going to town and whatnot. I'll just lie down for a while before I go.
Gave me such a fright.
Country life is bad for him. Depressing. If you'd be willing to lend him $1,500 or so, he could spend the whole year in town.
I haven't got any money. I'm an actress, not a banker.
Would you change my bandage for me, Mother? You do it so well.
Doctor's late. He was supposed to be here by 10, and it's almost noon. See? It's almost healed. Now, you won't try anything like this again once I'm gone, will you?
No, I did it in a moment of utter despair. I'd lost all control over myself. It will never happen again. These past few days, I've come to love you again, the way I had when I was a child. You're all I have left. Why do you let that man come between us?
I don't understand him, Constantine. He's a noble man.
A noble man! When he heard I was planning on challenging him to a duel, that noble man chose to run away like a coward.
He's silly. He's leaving because I asked him to.
Noble man! Here we are arguing over him, and he's probably up in the garden somewhere laughing at us and cultivating me now, trying to convince her he's a real genius!
Why do you take such delight in saying such horrible things to me? I respect the man and ask you not to speak ill of him in my presence.
I do not respect the man. You won't even think he's a real genius, but I'm sorry. I am not that good of a liar. His stories make me sick.
That's envy talking. What can pretentious non-entities do but malign true talent? Not much in the way of consolation, if you ask me.
True talent? I have more talent than all of you put together. You're nothing but a bunch of hacks. And just because you have a stranglehold on the arts, you think the only legitimate way of doing things is your way. Everything else you smother and suppress. Well, I don't accept your supremacy. Yours or his.
Relevant, decadent
Go
amateur.
back to your precious theater and your trashy third-rate plays.
Never done a trashy play in my life. You couldn't write a third-rate vaudeville sketch.
Liar!
An entity. Don't cry. Please don't cry. Forgive me, my darling. Forgive your wicked mother. Forgive me.
You only knew what I was going through. I've lost everything, Mother, everything. She doesn't love me. I can't write. I've lost all my hope.
Don't worry. Everything will be all right. I'm taking him away. She'll love you again once he's gone. You'll see. That's enough now. There. Are we friends again?
Yes, Mother.
Now make friends with him too. There's no need for a duel, is there now?
Right. As long as I don't have to see him again, that would be too much to ask.
Page 121, lines 11 and 12. If ever you have need of my life, come and take
The
it.
horses will be here soon.
If ever you
Are you packed?
Yes! Yes. Come and take it. Let's stay one more day. Just one more day.
I know what's keeping you here, but you must be strong. You've been intoxicated by emotions. You just need a little time to sober up.
Perhaps it's time for you to sober up as well. Please, be reasonable and understanding, and try to see it like a true friend. You are capable of sacrifice. Be a friend and set me free.
Are you really that much in love?
I feel drawn to her. This may be just what I need.
The love of a country girl?
I feel like I am asleep standing here with you. But when I am with her, I am dreaming wonderful sweet dreams. Release me.
No, you mustn't say such things to me. Why are you torturing me like this?
Young love! It's all poetry and magic, and it whisks you off into a world of dreams. I've never felt it before. I was so busy when I was young. I spent all my time living in poverty and trying to be published. But now here it is. That love. It's coming to me at last. It's calling to me.
You're deluding
And
yourself.
so if I am.
You're all conspiring to torture me today. That's what it is.
Did you understand?
Am I really so ugly that you can talk about other women to my face? You want to be wild and reckless, but I won't let you. You're mine, all mine. That forehead is mine, those eyes are mine, the beautiful face is mine, you're mine completely. You're so talented and intelligent. With the stroke of a pen, you penetrate the heart of a person. I am the only one who truly understands you, my darling, my own. Stay with me, you won't abandon me.
I have no will of my own. I never had. Carry me off if you must. Never let me out of your sight, not for an instant.
My darling.
must find Paulina and have her make sure the horses are ready.
I made up my mind once and for all. I'm going to be an actress. I'll leave this place tomorrow and start a brand new life. I'm going to Moscow, just like you.
Take a room at the Slav Bazaar. Let me hear from you immediately. I'll be staying at the Garkovsky house on Malkanovka Street.
Wait.
Well, go if you're going. Constantine, why won't you be nicer to my mom?
Oh, leave him alone,
She's a sweet
Mother.
girl, and women don't
There,
need much.
see?
Just to-
You've upset
I
him.
feel so
I
sorry
don't
for
need
you.
your pity, Mother.
My heart aches for
Don't be
you.
silly. Hopeless love happens only in novels. It's ridiculous. The thing is not to expect anything. Once love has wormed its way into your heart, your only choice is to tear it out. Semyon's been promised a transfer to another district. As soon as we're settled, I'll forget the whole thing.
I've got 6 mouths to feed now, and flowers up to 2 kopecks a pound.
Just trying to make ends meet.
It's easy for you to make light of it. After all, you're rolling in money.
You think I'm rich? It took me 30 years of general practice to scrape together 2,000 rubles, and now I've spent it all on my trip abroad. I don't have a kopeck left.
Haven't you left yet?
No, they won't let me have a horse.
I wish I'd never met you.
Where's my sister?
Going to the station to meet your Goring.
It must be pretty sick for you to have to send for my sister. I've got an idea for a story I want to give Constantine. It's called The Man Who Meant to. When I was young, I meant to be a writer. I never was. I meant to be able to speak well. I speak terribly, rambling on and on, dragging sentences on and on until I sometimes break out into a sweat. I meant to marry. I never did. I meant to live in town, and here I am waiting to die.
It's no use complaining about how bad life has been now that you're 62.
Can't you see? I want to live.
Don't be silly. Everybody dies someday.
He's like a man who is satisfied. Your thirst is quenched, but when your time comes, you'll be frightened.
Fear of death is an animal fear.
So, where are you going on your trip, Doctor?
Geneva, a wonderful city. You step outside your hotel at night and the street is teeming with people. You live with the crowd, become one with them. You start to believe there really might be a universal soul like one in Constantine's play. How's Nina, Constantine? Have you heard from her?
All right, I suppose.
Is she still acting?
Not really. When she first got to Moscow, she was cast in a few decent roles, but her acting was stiff and monotonous. Her gestures large and unconvincing. She was distracted. She had a child, but it died, and once Tregorin had tired of her, he returned to his former attachments. Or rather, he'd never really given them up. In his spineless way, he kept going back and forth. From what I can gather, Nina's life's a mess. I try to see her a few times, but she won't see me. After a while, I started getting letters from her. Warm, intelligent, thought-provoking letters. She never complains, but I can tell how unhappy she is. Every line a taut, raw nerve. Her mind must have been affected, too. She signs all her letters, the Seagull. Anyway, she's back now, but her father and stepmother will have nothing to do with her.
We're all getting older, but you, dear lady, you're as young as ever.
Ugh, trying to bring me bad luck again, you awful man.
Hello again, Mr. Soren. You must stop being so ill. You make your sister worry. Hello, Masha.
You remember me?
Mary?
For ages, it seems.
Your mother tells me you're willing to forget fast and start again?
Tregorin has brought a magazine with your latest story in it for you.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Your admirers send their greetings.
All Moscow and St. Petersburg are intrigued, and people never stop asking me about it.
Will you be staying long?
No, I'm planning on going back to Moscow tomorrow. I can't say the weather's given me a very nice welcome. Quite the storm out there. Hopefully it'll let up a bit soon so I can go down to the lake and get some fishing.
Let Simeon have a horse, Father. He's got to go home.
A horse to go home? The horses just got back from the station. I can't be chasing them out again.
Goodbye.
Well, our celebrity here hasn't had a thing since breakfast. Shall we have a bite to eat, everybody?
That's...
Are you coming, Constantine?
No, I'm not hungry. I wouldn't have bothered anyone if it weren't for the baby. Nina. Oh, Nina. I had a feeling you'd come. My heart's been aching all day.
Oh, Willow.
Yes.
Lock the door. Somebody might come in.
Nobody will come in. They're all eating
Your
dinner.
mother's here. I know she is.
Nobody will come in. Don't be afraid.
Look at you. It's nice and warm here. Have I changed a lot?
Yes. You're thinner. And your eyes are bigger. It seems so strange to see you, Nina. Why didn't you let me come to you? Why did you wait so long to come to me? I know you've been in town nearly a week. Several times a day I've been down to where you're staying and stood like a beggar beneath your
I was
window.
afraid you needed me. And every night I dream you look at me without seeing who I am. Only you do. But it is nice here. Nice and cozy. Can you hear the wind? There's a passage in Turgenev that goes, "Happy is the man who on a night like this has a roof over his head and a warm corner of his own." I'm the seagull. No, that's not it. Oh, what was I saying? Turgenev. And God help all homeless wanderers.
Nina.
It's all right. It's all right. I'll be better once this is out. I haven't cried in 2 years. first time in 2 years. There, you see? I stopped. So you're a writer. You're a writer. I'm an actress. Swept into the whirlpool, the two of us. You know, once I lived the happy life of a child. I wake up in the morning with a song on my lips. I had my love for you and my dreams of glory. And now tomorrow I leave for Yelitz.
Yelitz, why Yelitz?
I've got a contract for the winter.
Nina, I have hated you and cursed you. I have torn up your pictures, and yet I have known every moment of my life that my heart and soul are yours forever. To stop loving you is beyond my power. I have suffered since the moment I lost you. My life has been unbearable. My youth was torn from me. I feel that I've endured this world for 99 years. I call out to you. Everywhere I look, I see your face. Nina, stay with me. Nina, let it go. No, why, Nina, for God's sake?
Is your mother here?
Yes. My uncle fell ill, so we sent for
So
her.
tired. If only I could rest. I'm a seagull. No, that's not right. I'm an actress. Yes,
Yes, a game! What a wonderful idea! Paulina, go find the bingo set.
Bingo? What are we, 90?
So he's here too. Yes. That's it. Well, it doesn't really matter anyway, does it? Yes, he never believed in the theater. He always laughed at my dreams, and little by little, I stopped believing too. I was afraid he wouldn't love me. I was jealous and worried all the time about the baby, and my acting made no sense. I didn't know what to do with my hands, where to stand. I couldn't control my voice. You can't imagine how it feels to be on stage and know that you are terrible. I'm a seagull. No, that's not it. Remember when you shot the seagull? Well, one day a man came along and saw it, and for want of anything better to do, he destroyed it. An idea for a story. What was I saying? I was talking about the stage. Well, now I know, Constantine. Now I understand that what really counts in our work, whether it's acting or writing, is neither fame nor glory, the things I dreamed of. What really counts is endurance. Bearing your cross and having faith. I have faith and I don't suffer so much anymore. And when I think of my calling, I'm not afraid.
You have found your way. Yet I am still groping in a chaos of phantoms and dreams. I don't believe anything.
I have to go.
Stay and let me bring you some
No,
supper.
don't follow me. I can find a way home alone. She brought him with her. What difference does it make? But don't tell Jagorn when you see him. Don't tell him. I love him. I love him even more than I used to. It's an idea for a short story. I love him passionately. I love him to despair. Do you remember, Constantine? Do you remember? 1,000 years have passed since the earth last bore a living creature, and the unhappy moon now lights her lamp in vain.